Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HeroesHearth Warcraft 3 Fight Night. It is round 4. The champion KiWiKaKi is about to defend his title for the first time against another Night Elf challenger here from Europe this time. Super hyped about that, so all the European viewers have someone to cheer for. Starshaped from Sweden is getting himself ready. Let's see if he can do it. With me, as always, the wonderful Grubby. And for you, my friend, I've just got one question to ask. On a scale from 1 to garlic banana pizza, how hyped are you about the new patch?
I'm as hyped as a 350 damage critical strike. Yeah, I would critical strike a banana garlic pizza right now if there was one. Except, of course, if I had to share with you. In that case, I would give you 5 out of 8 slices.
That's more than half, and I'm very cool with that.
But small slices, like in the end, it would be half, but it would be like it feels like more. half.
Awesome.
50-50, brother. So, what is your favorite change in the new patch, Kendric?
Personally, my favorite change so far are the knights, the human knights. I never thought I would cheer for humans ever, but I gotta say the knights look so promising. I love seeing them. I've only seen them once though, so far. So I hope for more. You probably saw them more often, or what is your experience with the knights?
You know, until recently, I hadn't seen the burning blade, so that's really cool. Like to start getting graphical enhancements, even as soon as before Reforged on the swords of the knights, is really cool post upgrade. And it's like it's win-win. It does not hurt visibility and readability. It looks awesome. You know now that there's an upgrade finished, so it is good for the viewers, good for the casuals, good for the players, the opponent. And what's more is there would not be any other way to see whether they have it or not. Yeah. So it is important to have a visual indicator. They did. It looks rad. So I love it. It's a really cool change too.
Not so good for medium armor units. They suffer a little bit.
Yeah, Cryptfiends are burrowing on the ground in fear of the knights. And of course, mountain giants, their reign of terror against human might be over, provided humans can make it all the way there. But enough about humans and undeads. We could not be further from the truth. We're on one of the most legendary maps to start this best of 5 series out with, we have for you Twisted Meadows. It was designed in 2003 in a Blizzard Melee map making contest, and it made it all the way to be a mainstay map in Warcraft 3. It will be the first map here between KiWiKaKi and Starshaped.
Yeah, and I think alongside Turtle Rock, it's probably the oldest map we still have, in competitive play. Although Turtle Rock is a little bit on the offside, not really as popular anymore, not really used that much anymore. But yeah, we're playing with the new patch, guys, 1.31. That is where the action is going on right now. We have Starshaped on the top right corner in the Night Elves. We're going to see which hero he's going to rely on, because it seems like the reign of the Keeper has at least slowed down. I wouldn't say it has come to an end yet, Grubby, right? But it's definitely slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's well put. There's more reason than ever to go back to the Demon Hunter. It's always push and pull. You're a little bit pulled away from Keeper because he got nerfed in 3 ways. Small things, but necessary and well measured. And Demon Hunter got a little better again. However, it is going to be Keeper of the Grove. It is cross-map here. That means that Starshaped will be scouting on the second location. And we see, due to the absence of an Ancient of War, that this is a Huntress opening. Will it be 1 Ancient of War or 2? We know not yet. And Kiwi, he's doing something pretty special too, Kendric.
Yeah, he's going for the Farseer against Night Elf. That is definitely more of a niche pick, especially now, of course, with the changes that all the cool kids on the block are talking about right now. The crit changes to the Blade Master. Crazy numbers, as Grubby said earlier, really high numbers, 300 plus in the late stages of the game are no rarity, especially now with a lot of claws in the inventory, other damage boost sources like the Kodo Aura. There's a lot of stuff that you can pimp your Blade Master with these days now.
Now, this is going to be the Farseer. We have a kind of funny build here. 18-foot tech by KiWiKaKi with a second burrow, and only then a War Mill and a Barracks. This is a very delayed Headhunter attack. Headhunter tech by KiWiKaKi. He's not prioritizing units, either grunts or Headhunter, just slow Headhunters. Maybe it's even going to be a grunt and he just has the War Mill for lumber income, but either way, it's a low commitment to the early game, and that's exactly what he wants, because Keeper is coming to harass, try to kill some peons, harass some burrows, and delay the orc from creeping. But Kiwi doesn't care. He's not creeping with his Farseer or his blade. So they're essentially both okay with this time waste.
Yep.
And that's probably in the advantage of Kiwi, because he literally invested not a single thing in creeping.
Yeah, and he very much plays a similar playstyle compared to 14 days ago when he went Alchemist first against Hunter. And he basically, with the Chemical Rage, stuck to the Keeper's toes like glue. And he's doing a very similar thing with the Wolves here. So just damage the Keeper 24/7. He knows at this point that the Keeper probably didn't go for Entangle. So, nothing to be afraid of right now. And he just keeps the Keeper at a safe distance. No train harass or something. And Grubby, we did these pre-show interviews with the players, and we had a little bit of a chat with them, and we all know that both Starshaped and Kiwi, they're kind of special players in terms of the builds they want to go for. There is an Entangle, by the way, so that was a little bit of a surprise there. But yeah, these players like to play special, and Kiwi promised me, I'm not sure if he's going to fulfill the promise, but he promised us some Torrents today.
Oh, cool. So Torrents, that's my favorite change of the new patch. Torrents, not much changed. Pulverize is 25 lumber cheaper. And before you upgrade Pulverize, they have a 1/3 strength Pulverize already. Pulverize has a chance to do 60 damage splash. Every torrent is now baseline embedded with a Pulverize of 20 damage. So that's pretty cool to be able to make use of them in that way already prior to getting the rather expensive and slow upgrade. Now, the pretty cool thing happened just now. We had that Entangle from the Keeper. Really cool micro things. For example, he entangled the Feral Spirit knowing that Farseer's cooldown is not yet available, so the Entangle will not be wasted. He really can get experience out of it. You do this only if the wolves are freshly summoned within the last 20 seconds. Otherwise, you could just waste your Entangle. However, Kiwi was so up to the task, he actually managed to last hit self-deny the wolf, so no experience was granted to the Keeper of the Grove until this very moment where he just got the 2 wolves. So well done by Kiwi. We saw a few headhunters. We see a second Angels of War here by Starshaped near the mercenary camp, very sneaky. And of course, his Tree of Life in the north location has just about finished, and he can start moving it to the expansion anytime soon.
Yeah, that is still easier said than done, though. Good for him that it's nighttime right now, so the moon wells are full, because the keeper was harassed successfully here to the red HP level. Very dangerous for him. And, Kiwi doing a good job right now. Took a clarity potion, is now with the help of the Shadow Hunter and some trolls. The trolls are inca-bound here, trying to do the mercenary camp, the shop mercenary creep camp. So let's see what we're going to be able to do with these unit comps. Of course, it's specifically tailored to counter all those hunts. Lots of piercing damage. And for Starshaped, he's going to have to be on his tippy toes here right now. There are very few grunts. In fact, did he build a single grunt? I don't think he did.
Nope. No grunts in this army at all. They get to stay at home with their wives. And it's going to be the snake and the headhunters here. So that's double piercing damage. We have redundancy going on here by KiWiKaKi. And sometimes people will be like, well, I've got piercing from headhunters, so I get healing to support them, or hex. But if you have no headhunters and you have grunts, well, let's use snakes to fire over the grunt wall. No, he wants redundancy. Lots of piercing damage. He has seen the huntresses. He knows what he's going up against. And with this wolf that he's scouting with in the top right now, he's actually finding out for the first time there is an expansion. He gets to see the Tree of Life, maybe just on the brink of it, because there was the Abolish by the Priest.
Yeah, that was a really close one. Let's see if he had the reflexes to actually double check. But I think a player of the caliber of Kiwi probably saw it still. But as you said, there's not a lot of front line here in the army for Kiwi right now. That could, of course, perhaps lead us to some Torrents later at tier 3. He's already building a Torrent totem here. So tier 3 around the corner, Grubby, with a Torrent totem. And some walkers, maybe?
I used to have a strat like this, Farseer, Headhunter, and then Torrents against Night Elf. And you would make a few towers, and you would get Torrents out. It's a little different here from Kiwi. He's also got Shamans to deal with the Keeper, presumably. Get Bloodlust eventually. Tier 3 is nearly finished. So this is Headhunters, Bloodlusted Torrents, which can deal with pretty much anything that Night Elf can throw at you. You can deal with Mountain Giants, Huntresses, Archers. This is the kind of dream army that you would love to have against pretty much anything, except maybe like double Chimera Roost Moss Chimeras.
Yeah, and of course, then you have to rely on a very important tool for the Night Elf when you face those Bloodlusted Torrents. And I think these little guys known as Wisps, they have become so important in many Night Elf matches, especially against Orc that goes for Bloodlust. Because the Dispel, the AoE Dispel, can be so huge, not only against the Wolves, but also, of course, against the Bloodlust. Here we see a fight breaking out right now. The Keeper in trouble, but the Speed Scroll is used to save the units rather than going for the surround, because Kiwi knows now that the army is here. We already see a Pandaren Brewmaster here. This change, or his change for the new patch, was rather minimal, but it seems to be enough for people to already rely on him again.
Yeah, he goes with the Drunken Haze Fire Breath. We had a little bug there on the Fire Breath animation, but trust me, where there's smoke, there's fire, and he definitely cast those. He managed to creep level 2 with the Panda Shinjo Honeybrew from the Mercenary Camp, and he now has that combination of spells. The full rotation of spells costs 145 mana, which is about half his mana pool, and it deals initial damage and damage over time in the next 5 seconds. There's also a 12-second miss chance in AoE everyone it lands on. So that's pretty good against Headhunters, who pretty much are defined by how much damage they can put out. So pretty cool hero pick, and it will help keep his Huntresses a little bit better alive against Headhunters.
Yeah, some missed auto attacks on the Torrents, definitely appreciated as well for Starshaped. So yeah, the Pandaren Brewmaster could become a hero that pays off quite well if he gets, the AoE spread on the Drunken Haze. Now, speaking of the Torrents, ladies and gentlemen, raise your totems up in the air, because we see the first cow reinforcing the Orc army. Another one is not being... Oh, 2 actually. There we go. Another one is currently not being produced, but 2 already. That marks a really strong front line. And keep in mind, as Grubby said earlier, these guys now come with a mini Pulverize. The upgrade is a little bit cheaper, and is basically a big Pulverize for the full damage.
Yep, exactly. And I didn't see if he upgraded Pulverize yet or not. I'm assuming he
I also didn't catch it. It's coming now. It's coming now.
Okay. So he didn't yet, but he's already benefiting from baby Pulverizes right here. We have Bloodlust upgrade finishing in 20% of its research time. And we have a tiny Great Hall expansion. And the cool thing is, Kiwi decided to do this not in the location he already prepped, which would be very obvious, and just as like might already have a Wisp there for spotting. It doesn't, but he doesn't know that. So nice location there. He finally has the counter expansion. So instead of dealing with a Night Elf expansion that he may guess 80% sure exists because it's the meta strategy, he just says, I'll get a very belated expansion, but I will benefit from a better tech. And that's what he's trying to do. He knows he'll have a better economy against him, but he hopes the better army will offset that. We now have a pressure by Starshaped on Kiwi's base. How is he going to deal with it?
Fortunately for Kiwi, the champ, he's got the upgraded burrows, so building armor now for those. Burrows, always a little bit of a weakness for Orc players when they're not upgraded, because they're so susceptible to getting harassed, especially Night Elves can really, with a strong Hunt force, basically get rid of them very quickly. We see the Bloodlust, by the way, now being ready as well. So this is, as you called it, the Dream Orc army. The question is, can he survive long enough for this expansion in the bottom to survive? Starship now has already mined off 2 bases for quite some time, but he's still very heavy on tier 1 units, so no tech for the Knight of Burnout. We see a little bit of an engagement happening here. The Pandaren Brewmaster, 2 scrolls of healing available. He's dropping super low, no crits available, but the Torrents are basically doing a very similar job. The Pulverizers are smashing the Pandaren, who's now going to have to use the scroll of the Potion of Invulnerability.
And he gets the heal wave off on the Torrent just in time, but there's 2 Torrents very low. They would drop a massive load of experience on the Night Elf should Kiwi let them die. Does he have another heal wave? It looks like this Torrent may fall right before the TP, but it doesn't. And the Snakes try to finish off the 2 low Huntresses. Now, problem with Torrents, they have 1,300 HP. And Heal Salt heals 400 over the course of 45 seconds. There's no way you're going to heal them back up in time before the next fight. So this expansion is practically forfeit. Unless Kiwi buys a TP and does what I call the Rambo Town Portal. Right on top of archers with semi-hurt Torrents, but trusting in the power of Pulverize and Bloodlust. Is he going to do that? There we go! Rambo! Taka, 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 taka.
Oh, what's it gonna be? There we go. He ports relatively deep. Everyone is now in the thick of things. The archers are kind of naked and exposed. Bloodlust is coming through. No wisps here to dispel any of that. The first Torrent is about to fall here. Red HP. Level up from the Pandaren. The Night Elf is holding strong with a range unit barely touched at all.
Such great focus fire by Starshaped here, commendable. He sent decoys to pull Torrent damage, reducing pulverized damage on the brunt of his archers. And he used archers to cleverly focus fire Shaman after Shaman, leaving just 1 alive with very low health. Now using Moon hiding, nice Shadow Meld. And he will TP out, still losing another 3 to 4 archers before it happens. Struggled with my words there as Starshaped struggled to get out of that fight. He lost a few archers at the end. Kiwi saves the expansion. Both killed a lot. But if we...
Yeah, that was... I think Grubby has some problems right now, so I'm just going to take over. We can't really see him. Grubby, please don't leave us. Anyways, you can really see how crucial those Torrents were, right? Even one Bloodlusted Torrent in the middle of the ranged backline of the Night Elf army was doing terrible, terrible things to him. Now... let us see what is going to happen here. Both players actually walking away with a win here, right? The Orc, true, lost a little bit of units there, but saved the expansion. Most important thing about that. The Night Elf, though, killed many units, so really threatened and crippled the army value, the overall, supply of the Orc as well. So it's really hard to tell who came off with the better end here. Let's take a little bit of a look here at experience here. Both Night Elf heroes are basically at level 4. Take a look at the Orc here. Farsi at level 4. Shadowhunter coming along with 4 as well. So it's very, very similar in terms of power levels here on the heroes. However, just look at the army. We have a disconnect here, I think. So that is unfortunate. Looks like there is a problem perhaps for several European connections right now. So let's double check. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. So I was not affected by it. For once, the German internet proves to be resilient. I can't believe it. I never thought I'd say this. Germany, in my opinion, when it comes to internet, is a very much third world country, and I really hate it sometimes to be there. But Yeah, we're probably going to have to remake this game and hope for Grubby's and Starshape's speedy recovery. Germany won. Oh my goodness. Don't get me started, guys. You really don't want to hear my rant about German internet. I'm just going to give you a quick glimpse of how bad it is, okay? So I'm currently sitting at 2 internet connections because one is not stable and reliable enough. Yep. So I have like a backup connection just in case one of them goes offline, which happens more than I would want it to happen. So people who watch my stream every now and then will probably know what I'm talking about. There was a time in which I basically couldn't stream straight for 2 hours straight. It was terrible. But you know what what's not terrible? The fact that you guys tuned in for the 4th round of Fight Night here for Warcraft 3 Heroes Hearth. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Spread the word. It's a great show. We have Grubby in there. We've got awesome players in there. So I'm super happy that this format is live. Now, we're trying to figure out what's exactly going to happen over the next couple of minutes. We hope that the internet issues that seem to affect some European zones will be solved soon. We're going on a short break, hopefully short break, guys. And as soon as we've got updates for you about Starshaped and Daddy Grubby,
yeah, what's up?
We're gonna get back to you. So, hey, what did I just summon you?
No, it's so when you say Daddy Grubby, I'll be there in your room.
I'm carefully looking behind me right now.
It's so weird though. My computer just hung in the middle of the game. Did the game, by the way, get played out or not?
No, Starshaped also disconnected.
What the heck? My computer hung when I tabbed into Warcraft 3. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, that is crazy. Mysterious indeed, guys. We're going on a break. We're talking to Starshaped, see if he's okay. So in a few minutes, we'll be back with more Heroes Hearth, Warcraft 3 Fight Night action. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for your patience. We have solved all the issues. It was unfortunate that we had that disconnect, but unfortunately, sometimes, the equipment, the mechanical devices that we so rely on, they just sometimes do weird things. And we come with an update, Grubby. We have a winner determined in that first game because after analyzing the clips, after taking a look at several statistics in that game, we came to the conclusion that Starshaped was very much ahead. Chimera's coming to counter the Taurens, roughly 15 food supply lead. The fight that he just won near the expansion was very much in his favor. So it is 1-0 for Starshaped over the champion KiWiKaKi, and we're getting ready for game 2, which is going to be played on Conceal Hill.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I didn't get to see the end there, Kendric, but indeed it was great. It was a great fight by Starshaped. He used all his archers to kill all the shamans. The Taurens were very low. He had an uncontested expansion. He killed some workers, and he probably had the better hero combo for big fights. Farseer kind of drops off. He just enables certain playstyles, but he's not that powerful later on. And I was just going to tap into Warcraft 3 to see if chimeras are coming, so I could see, because we have 2 different game screens, and you're saying they were coming, and they did indeed look pretty much over in favor of Starshaped. So unfortunate that there was a disconnect there for me and for Kiwi and Starshaped and for the viewers in the tourney, but I think it's probably the right call. So 1-0 to Starshaped. Going to be going to the next one then on Concealed Hill.
Yeah, and that of course was Kiwi's choice. The way it works here with the fight night is the loser always gets to choose the map. That's how it works in most tournaments and leagues. So we're getting ourselves ready for Conceal Hills, which is a very good map for orcs in general. We talked about this many times. The fountains with high HP units scales very well. Anything else why you like this map as an orc, Grubby?
Well, actually, I don't.
You don't like it?
No. There's healing fountains, but they're so far out of the way. They're well guarded, so orc can barely ever creep them. The type of army that orc gets barely ever can creep the fountain. So you can only use it at night, and they're so far out of the way that you're generally wasting so much time standing there. Yes, you're saving some gold not spending on heal solves, but you're not doing anything. So is that really worth 100 gold? You're not creeping, harassing, expanding, stopping expos. So I actually think it's not that great of a map for Orc, and I really like it for Night Elf. So I'm kind of excited to see whether Starshaped can get a 2-0 leap here.
What did you think of the Farseer choice here for Kiwi? We know he likes to take things differently, but after the Blade Master just getting these juicy changes, feeling better than ever, well, feeling as good as before, basically, you should say.
Sure.
Were you happy with that Farseer? Do you think it did what it was supposed to do, and the fault lies elsewhere? What is your take on that?
Yeah, the Farseer, without it, like you take too much damage in early harass situations. So really, the Farseer, you should see him as an enabler. You try to win games early, or you try to tech, and you use wolves for scouting. You have range damage. Basically, the blade is better in almost every situation, but he can't enable certain play styles. So see the Farseer as a price you have to pay to get to a strat like the one we had.
Right. Yeah, the Farseer, I mean, there is a reason why he's considered to be a rather, exotic, maybe pocket strategy pick, especially on smaller maps, perhaps, on Echo Isles, strong harassing potential there, but Twisted Meadows, maybe not the right choice. The Taurens itself, though, I think the Taurens were fine. It was still pretty much impressive to see how well Starshaped played around it, though. Archer's probably the favorite fodder, the favorite dish of every Tauren, if they get into the backland it is. But he microed them very well to safety and then used the focus fire, the sniper fire, onto them to get rid of one after the other. And the Shamans as well, of course, they are susceptible to the Archers with the piercing damage.
Yeah, exactly. So that's something both players have to be mindful of. We're just waiting here for the players to get back in the game, in the second game that has been hosted. We don't have either of them there yet. I think Starshaped has gone to the restroom.
Right. So now we talked about my favorite thing about the new patch, which were the Knights. For some reason, although I'm an undead player, Knights have always been my favorite unit in the game. Must be the Paladin syndrome that I have in all my RPGs and stuff. What is your favorite chains? Is it really the Crit Blade Master or anything else?
I like the torrent change. Like
Yeah.
before, you had to get 2 to 3 torrents and then pulverize, and then you would have finally something worth playing. Without Bloodlust, a single or a double torrent doesn't do enough pulverizers to actually pressure armies in a serious way. So it was a huge investment. The totem, you may already have it, but you need 3 torrents and then pulverize. It took too long. Now you start having something after you make 1 torrent. Again, you may already have the totem. You make a single torrent that can get a mini pulverize, and it's like, okay, that's pretty helpful. Maybe you've got Master Walkers, you can bring them back. There's much less riding on needing to get this huge build up before they finally become useful. So I think that's a very well considered change by Blizzard.
Yeah, indeed. There's a lot of cool things happening right now. We also have some opinions about several changes in the patch already as well. I think Happy, for example, he made a very good post about Undeads in specific, of course. Undead, I think, is probably one of the more exciting races to watch in that case, because they had tons of changes coming in, items-wise, units-wise. But yeah, it's hard to see what the meta will look like in a couple of weeks from now, perhaps months. It's interesting, months. Right? Because even before that patch, I didn't really... Yeah, we saw so many different strategies. It was hard to say if there was like a perfect meta already. I think there were so many strategies still coming up, like the Pit Lord in Orc versus Night Elf, for example. So super interesting times right now.
Yeah. I just had a funny 4v4 game where I massed some Necromancers and I used the new Insight Unholy Frenzy. Yeah. Just, people are always going to go mass tier 3. So they're going to be having Chimeras, Frostworms, Griffins. And sure enough, I had allies that had Griffins. So I'm like, all right, how about Unholy Frenzy on all of your Griffins? It's pretty cool. It is a bit harder to use, though.
Yeah. So, by the way, don't get confused about the overlay. It will be fixed in no time. Yeah. Thanks, guys, for the feedback, as always. Both during the live streams and after. We really appreciate that. And we're hoping to deliver you guys the best experience possible. We're diving into game number 2 here between the reigning champion KiWiKaKi and Starshaped, the Night Elf challenger from Europe. The first time we actually have a player that's not from NA. And for those of you who've been following us for quite some time, we will have a new challenger waiting in the pipeline already 2 weeks from now. And for the first time, we're going to welcome a human player with Priest, a very strong NA player, and I can't wait to see what he's capable of. But for now, we're going to focus on KiWiKaKi and the Challenger Starshaped on Conceived Hills. And let's see if players are going for similar strategies or if they're going to bust out something new.
All right, let's see. We have the game started, and Kiwi once again with that old altar far outside of his base. It may look odd at first and exposed, but he's keeping exactly about 5 spaces in between his altar and his Great Hall, where there is going to fit a barracks or a shop. Behind it, a burrow, and eventually it will make sense. Why the altar on that side and not the barracks on that side later? I mean, I don't really know. I guess the barracks produces headhunters who can now more easily escape within the warm embrace of the main base later on. And they won't be the one that's exposed far out. Whereas the altar, it produces 1 or 2 heroes, and then it's done. And it is, it's not quite allowed to be forfeited, but it may not be as relevant in the skirmishes of the mid-game as the barracks' position. Plus, he gets a little bit more vision in the early game like this.
Okay, both players are not switching gears. They go for the weapons that they know work quite well. We have the Farseer again on the side of the Orc, and we see the good old Keeper. Looks like his time is indeed not over. He's not going back into the Emerald Dream. Now we see the Hunter's Hall coming in very early. Ancient of War following suit. So, would you say that with a Farseer, it's more dangerous to go for a fast expansion as a Night Elf as it is with a Blade Master, or do you think nothing really changed?
Well, they can use a single auto attack and a Wisp to remove your wolves if they are there at the point of summoning. Otherwise, you can split your wolves, but when they're split, you can't use both of them to harass a Tree of Life. So, overall, it is a little bit hard to use either. I don't know what that's all about. Acting cute here. It's a little difficult to kill a fast expansion. So you see that Kiwi, with the experience he has with the Farseer, he didn't even try to find, sniff out, or cancel the Tree of Life in the last game. He just let it happen and came up with the counter expansion and a more sophisticated army.
All right, the keeper says hello, spots the orc base, and sees a 2-burrow tech. I'm not sure if he saw the war mill. I don't think he was close enough, though, although it was daytime, so hard to say.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like, if it looks like something, and it sounds like something, and it smells like something, it's probably something. And he sees pretty much the same build order as the last game, so probably immediately he would put Kiwi once again on Headhunter, Shaman, Tauren.
All right, and we see an Entangle first, by the way, once again on the keeper. Looks like that is going to happen a lot more frequently now with the nerfs on the trans, now dealing less damage. And we actually saw that throughout all game stages on several occasions now as well, that the creep speed on Night Elves is not as as fast anymore, because the damage mitigation, the damage reduction is quite noticeable. Sometimes you think like, hey, 1 point of damage is probably not going to make that much of a difference, but when you have 2 or 3 treants at the same time, constantly suffering from it, it does make a difference.
Yeah, and the keeper has less intelligence, so a little bit less mana, less auto attack damage. Overall, it is a little slower. And he also knows that Kiwi is not interested in creeping at all. He is going to be right on top of that. If Starshaped is going to creep, the Farseer will be there to harass archers, and it's just not very comfortable. He prefers to just have an offhand approach. And he gets some headhunters, but very lovely self-kill by KiWiKaKi.
Yeah, those are the moments where you can really see how well the players are paying attention to, the multitasking and, of course, the denying / last hitting reflexes there. Really nice to deny every tiny bit of experience to the enemy hero. The keeper is still sitting at 0 experience. So all these cute little denies, coming in from playing a lot of MOBAs myself, that is always nice to see.
Yeah, it's that's where the skill was born, reflexes. Right? Within Warcraft 3, pretty much.
Exactly. So, we see the Spirit Lodge coming up here. We see the Shadow Hunter also in the making on the Altar of Storms. Now, with Starshaped, his tech, of course, is delayed. The Tree of Life on the top left location also being built right now. So let's see if... the Wolf is already coming. Kiwi might have a really important scout there. If he wanders to that location, it's nighttime.
Yeah, there's 2 popular locations. It's where the tree is, and then right around the bend here on the right. He's checking kind of the right side here. Will he send it back to the left or take a gander at the main base? He will see an upgrading Tree of Life. And if he is well-versed, if he goes all the way there, if he's well-versed in the positioning of the Tree of Ages, you actually see that the Tree of Life has a very slow hand movement. If you look at the main base of Starshaped, not the main base of Starshaped, you see that actually the hands go up and then they go all the way down. So you can actually tell how far along it is in the upgrade, because it's going all the way down in slow motion. And when it's down, that's when the upgrade finishes. So if he reads that correctly, he knows it's about 60%, which is suspiciously, weirdly late. So from that and seeing no second Age of War, he must know this is an expansion already.
All right, for now, it doesn't really seem to bother KiWiKaKi too much. He's taking the creeping into his own hands here in the bottom left, trying to level up that Shadow Hunter and the Farseer. What is quite typical in this matchup so far between the 2 players is that they weren't really focusing on creeping that much. They were instead focusing on scouting, harassing one another. So no real advantage on either side. But of course, with that expansion spot being crept now, we have Starshaped getting that level 2 after the Null Overseer. Gets the Ring of Regeneration right now. I can't wait to see some of those Rings of Protections in action. Now all buffed with +1 armor. And a lot of people seem to be very excited about that and seem to value those items a lot more now.
Yeah, I mean, ring +3 from a normal camp, +4 from the camp that you just crept. It's a pretty big deal. Maybe not on the Keeper, but he's probably going to hire the Panda again. And that one would have benefited greatly from +4 armor, more than doubling his starting amount.
Right, so we see KiWiKaKi now trying to go for the shop. We have the Ogre being lured out as well. But Starshaped is around the corner. He's trying to find the Orc perhaps with a good Entangle Harass. We see the Pandaren coming into the fray again. Looks like Starshaped was pretty much content and happy with how he performed, blinding or dazing the Tauren, if you want to call it, causing him to miss every now and then with a Drunken Haze. And looks like Kiwi is not really shifting his build, not really shying away from it, sticking to his guns with Headhunters, Shaman's Bloodlust, and Tauren at tier 3. which are basically around the corner right now. The Tauren Totem is about to finish in his main base.
Yeah, we have a bunch of shamans here without upgrades as of yet. It's about 20% of the way done, the shaman upgrade. You'd like to use as little mana as possible so they can preserve and have a really big mana pool once they get upgraded. But as it stands, there's about 4 purges available. So you can remove some trees and some entangles. Kiwi would like to dodge a fight though. Not a single Tauren on the field yet. No upgraded shamans. He is just waiting. And the cool thing is, Starshaped has a running expansion, so he's very happy with that waiting game as well. And moreover, he would like Kiwi not to creep even a cramp. Well, he's finally leaving and thinks it could actually be dangerous for him if he stays, and he wants his Panda level 3.
That he wants. Now, of course, Starshaped is pretty much expecting the Tauren, so is he trying to go for Chimeras perhaps, which of course are the ideal counter in terms of damage output? But of course are susceptible to Bat Riders perhaps, or the Headhunters, you know, if the critical mass of the trolls is there. Or is he going to rely on something else? For now, he's still on tier 1. Tier 3 is not there yet either. So, of course, tech-wise, he's also a little bit behind. Continues to rely on hunts for the most part. So we could maybe see a tier 2 push with a Pandaren Brewmaster, Drunken Haze coming in. Level 3, going to be very much important for him. He goes for the strongest creep camp on the map right now, the Ogre Lord in the middle.
Could drop an Unholy Aura, would be huge.
Ooh,
Endurance, not too shabby either. What's it gonna be? Is it gonna be a class plus 12? And it is gonna be a Hood of Cunning. I see. So that gives agility and intelligence. Probably the second worst item he could find here. Arguably third worst. Claws would probably be worse, and agility strength could be worse. Even though that makes the Panda a nice fighter, intelligence is his premium resource because his spells are quite good. Now we see Mass Archer switch. We have 1 attack upgrade for the Night Elf. And he's going to be not fighting yet. I can't imagine. You know, Starshaped spends so much time on 50 food. There's no way he would want to have a full-out brawl here. He's going to push straight to 70 food archers. That's his target. And maybe after that, we might see a Chimera switch once again.
Triple AOWs, by the way, coming in for the Night Elf players. 2 at the expansion and 1 in the main base. That is going to be some heavy, heavy archer pumping. And, you know, if you have the critical mass there, a nice concave with some upgrades as well, you can really deal tremendous damage onto those Taurens and the Shamans alike. And you would think normally, hey, archers aren't really that great against Taurens. But hey, if the Trans and the Huntresses buy enough time for those little for the girls in the back to provide all the deeps, then, you know, it could actually be enough. So it's going to be interesting to see how long this tier 1 massing can work for Starshaped and when or if he's actually going to go for tier 3.
Yeah, he just dropped to 70 food already. I mean, he just obtained 70 food. Before the Drake is quite crept, we see the Creep Jack coming in here by Starshaped, and he's going to clean that up. Maybe even pick up the Tome. Yep,
got him.
Do we have Kiwi going over 50? Yeah, he just flipped the switch, goes over 50. He wanted to save up a little bit of gold as well, and he's now at 60 food. We have 71 for Starshaped. He's starting to make wisps and pulling every wisp he can find on the map. He's got a lot of archers, but crucially, no second attack upgrade.
Yeah, they're so far 1-0, 1-0. The Farseer a little bit close to the Night Elf army, but doesn't get entangled, out of range, or perhaps Starship thought it was not the time. He's going heavy on the items right now. He's basically going on a shopping spree here in the Goblin Merchant camp. Got a Scroll of Protection, which is great against Shamans. They don't have AoE dispel like the Walkers, so they would have to invest a lot of cooldowns and a lot of mana just to get rid of the armor buff. He also has a Scroll of Healing. So, 2 Scroll of Healings actually in the Pandaren as well. So, I think Starshaped is gearing up for a big push here, for a big attack.
Yeah, and there's a Tauren with only 600 life. There are no heal salves. These Taurens are not fully healed. Starshaped came at the perfect time. He stopped the healing fountain creep camp and also prevented the creeping possibility there. The first Tauren has almost gone down already.
Yeah, that was a big dispel, though, by the Wisp. He killed the first 2 ones with a Chain Lightning of the Taurens. Another one goes through. Here go the Scrolls. Now pop for both players. Scroll of Protection doing work here for Starshaped, but the backline is dealing terrible damage onto those Hunters as well. But look at the Archers. Speaking of backlines, focusing one Tauren after the other. Down go the Moo farm. And hey, I think this is the breaking point for Starshaped. He's looking very strong. The Pandaren looking good as well. And no more frontline for the Arc army at all.
Yeah, that just wasn't even close. Just these archers destroyed those Taurens. They were not in the right position. They were bloodlusted, but the wisps were too good. Kiwi was unable to buy enough time for the Historians to get healed up, to get in position. And he was only 65 food against 80. Starshaped was all kinds of ready. And Kiwi started that fight with just level 3 heroes, taking a full Fire Breath, a full Drunken Haze. Not the best micro there, but great job by Starshaped there to get such a great fight. He was very greedy for a while. He stayed on 50 food and then just made 80 food archers. That was well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. And, I always get a little bit worried when I see a player that, staying on tier 1 for so long. But I think the only race that kind of gets away with is Night Elf, because their units just provide so much utility. They work so well in synergy as well. The Huntress is blocking a little bit. The Orc has to rely on Troll Headhunters to kind of counter them, maybe some Spirit Snakes as well. But that wasn't enough, with the Scroll of Protection in particular, no AoE to spell. Those Huntresses were really beefy, and those Archers completely untouchable. Nice position, nice decision-making. I think Starshaped is showing a big time, and I wasn't really sure if he was in shape, because I haven't seen him quite a bit, around the scene in tournaments, but he's looking strong, Grubby.
Yeah, it looked like a good adaptation from game 1 as well. The game 1 that, of course, didn't quite come to the end, but looked pretty good for him, and he had the Chimera Roost switch ready, but he figured if the fight was that close while taking 2 Chimeras, how about I add a 3rd Ancient of War, make even more units, and instead of making my attack 85% serious, I make it 100% serious. And that worked out for him seriously well.
All right, can the champ recover, Grubby? That is the question, man. Already on the ropes here is KiWiKaKi. He looked so strong 14 days ago against Hunter, who kind of played a similar style, right? Compared to Starshaped, going for mass tier 1, going for the Keeper. And he just dismantled the Peruvian player so handsomely. But for some reason, Starshaped seems to be having the edge right now. He really seems to read the opponent very well. And maybe it's time for the mad scientist KiWiKaKi to bust out something different. This Torrent strategy looks a little bit susceptible to all the early pressure.
Yeah, he was pretty low on lumber last game because basically Kiwi is asking a lot out of his economy, out of his macro. He's getting Berserkers, 175 lumber, Pulverized, 225. 3 different buildings for teching and units. And then he does a tiny Great Hall, and he builds a burrow there. And this is all pretty much at the same time. Double Shaman upgrades. While he got pushed by 70 food, which eventually became 80, he had 49 lumber. So as he was trying to push out units, it just took really long. And all these torrents are waiting in line from the totem. But it was Starshaped's timing. Had he come even 8 seconds later, the Red Drake would have been dead. Kiwi would have had all the items, and he could move into the fountain, heal his torrents, buy a little bit of time, and then TP to his expansion. And it would have looked totally different. Every torrent would have been full life, pretty much. And yeah, that's just good timing by Starshaped, and he didn't give Kiwi time to develop. Had he waited another half minute, maybe Kiwi wins.
Yeah. Sometimes Warcraft 3 is a game of seconds, man. You just need the good timing, need to find the right spot at the right time, and it'll work for you. And speaking of those dragon camps, I think in general, these late game level 7 camps, they can be so strong with these aura items now being stronger than ever before. And just think of an orc army that relies on Tauren, and wolves in the melee. Just they get a vampiric aura. There's so many good items actually available right now with all those aura buffs that I think that would have been a crucial difference, perhaps.
Yeah, I think you're right. And but he didn't quite get to it. Starshaped grabs the second map, and we're at a 2-0 in this best of 5. And now the question will be, does Kiwi play the same strat again, try to adapt, make changes where necessary, or does he go with something else entirely? Well, we're getting into the second game, and we will see just what is going to be the situation.
Yep, the map is Last Refuge. So we're going to have another fairly large map. And
I think this is a much better map for Kiwi than the last one. Like worse positioning for Night Elf armies if Kiwi plays the same thing again.
Yeah, I was going to say Last Refuge is my personal bane because whenever I look at the map icon, it looks so similar to the Concealed Hills. Always having trouble keeping those two apart from one another.
Yeah, I sometimes think it's Twisted Meadows because or Turtle Rock. Like Turtle Rock actually has gold mines in the exact same location. double top
True.
left, double bottom
That's true.
right, top bottom left. So you have to actually read the English. It's quite useful. A rule that I keep learning many times a year when it comes to basically anything. Just read what is there.
Yep. Also good for patch notes, guys. So yeah. Super excited though about this patch. And are we finally going to see the Blade Master? Is it time, or is it perhaps time for the Alchemist first that served Kiwi so well 14 days ago? Going to be exciting to see. Although the Alchemist got nerfed pretty hard, to a lot of people's delight, actually, the Chemical Rage first is still untouched, still as good as 14 days ago.
Yeah, you won't heal spray as often with that cooldown there, but Orc doesn't really spam it too much anyway for the most part, so Alchemist could work. But it should be kept in mind, though, that I think Kiwi really built a counter strategy for Hunter there, because Hunter in that time he did a lot of Archer openings. Alchemist is a little better there, and he also hopes to stop and abuse an early expansion, whereas actually Starshaped, he has just been making Huntress and teching and kind of expanding a little bit slower and just having Huntresses rather than focusing on creeping. By not creeping, he doesn't make himself weak, and Alchemist will probably be useless. I would like to see if maybe, though, a Shadowhunter first is part of the bag of tricks for Kiwi. Not the best map for it, though.
Yeah, not the best map for it, but I see what you're saying, Grubby, and I gotta say I like the Shadowhunter first. I think he has become the real superstar, next to the flashy Blade Master who gets all the sexy crits these days, but the Shadowhunter is just such a backbone of the Orc army, providing the necessary healing. The Snakes, of course, always great against Huntresses, should the Night Elf go for that route. I think you're right. Maybe we're going to see that. Perhaps we're also going to see another familiar face with the Pit Lord. We've seen a lot of Shadowhunter Pit Lord second.
Yep. Pit Lord, he would be very good against those Huntresses and Archers. The Archers in particular would work great with Bloodlust as well. Just hard to keep him alive if your first hero is Farseer. We'll see what it's going to be. But can we talk about Starshape's second hero choice for a second? How quickly did he adapt to the new patch, which is less than half a week old? And he's already straight up in Fight Night picking Panda second and using him. That little bit of extra damage that the Panda now has. And he says, yeah, that's perfect. Let's use it right away. Time after time.
All right, guys, the players have joined the lobby. Last Refuge is about to kick off. And, that's also another thing that we have, of course, in a format like the Fight Night. Players can watch and scout certain players over the course of time, especially the future challengers. So I think Starshaped actually did his homework. He prepared quite well. Of course, with a new patch, it's really hard to prepare in the first place, but I think you can really tell that he definitely didn't come unprepared. So we now have the players ready. And keep in mind, guys, the champion is in the ropes. One more loss, and he will have to forfeit his title, which, of course, would also mean that the bounty that he had so hard worked for will go over to Starshaped.
Yeah, no one has walked away with the bounty yet. So
no one was chickening out so far.
Just to regroup, every single bit that has been cheered via the Twitch cheering system so far in the last few Fight Nights has all been accumulating, some of it anyway, as a bounty for a winning player who then walks away from the final challenge. But no one has walked away yet. So the bounty keeps growing and growing and growing. And when a champion gets toppled, the new challenger takes that bounty away and he starts running with it. So at this time, it is going to be Alchemist first. So very exciting. We're going to see a departure from the Farseer.
When times get desperate and you need that win, KiWiKaKi comes out with his baby boy, the Alchemist. And he's going to go with a Barracks first. Burrow, of course, after in a very late altar because neutral heroes, they spawn a little bit later. And that's going to be great. Let's see what Starship has to offer against that. Is he going to go for the Keeper again? Was very vulnerable when Hunter played it 2 weeks ago against that. Or is he going to go for another, shining superstar of that patch, the Demon Hunter, who is now a much more affordable mana burn?
I couldn't say for sure, Kendric, but something very strange and unprecedented has happened. Starshaped has gone Altar, Moonwell, Ancient of War in base. Yeah. And he hasn't built it at the creeps. So let's see what hero is going to be. I guess it's going to be Demon Hunter.
Oh.
But why the Ancient of War here? I don't get it. It's too far to really help effectively at the creep camp. It's so defensive. I only ever see this on Turtle Rock, where the Ancient of War needs to be in the base because there's all kinds of cheese on the close positions Turtle Rock that are possible, and you just need that Ancient of War at home to defend. So he is going to make archers, but it almost feels like he won't open with the 3/3/3 creeping. I don't really get why. I'm excited to see what it's going to be. We're going to learn it together, chat.
Yeah, we're going to take a look and see what happens here. Of course, no Ancient of W creep. It would take way too long now for it to march over. So we're going to have to rely on archers and maybe the archer is actually baiting the creeps over into the range of the Ancient of War.
I see now. He went for a double archer opening before uprooting, or maybe he will just creep with evasion. So the point here isn't to Ancient of War creep because it would cost him production time. Instead, he even used an Ancient of Wonders trick to have a near seamless archer production. Second one's already out way earlier than usual, and the third one is starting now. So a much higher archer count on tier 1. What this is going to be good for, I don't even know. Maybe he expects Alchemist and he wants more resilience. Third Moonwell as well. Like, what the heck is going on? I don't know, Kendric. This is a totally new build.
Yeah, and you know what, Grubby? If you don't know what's going on, then I certainly don't either. So let's see what's going to happen with this. Of course, nice item here for the Demon Hunter. Gets the claws +6. Good damage boost. And now all of a sudden, the Alchemist is like, no Keeper. That's going to be a little bit harder for me to harass. So he's probably going to try to use his Chemical Rage auto attacks onto the archers, which there is a respectable number of already because of all the things we talked about. 4 archers now already in the chase of the Orc army. 2 grunts, though. That's pretty respectable, too. And no such things as an entangle, so you can use those those grunts much more freely.
I'm thinking on my feet here. Why did Starshaped play this strategy? And I'm thinking, let's say if you know for sure it's going to be Alchemist, triple grunt before tech, which is the build that Kiwi has been doing. Maybe you need this many archers in order to defend effectively, because that single archer is going to just get bullied by that Alchemist. So this could be a counter to the Alchemist opener, and I feel like it is, because you have quick 3 Moonwells, means more Moonwell regeneration, means more healing, and you're safer. But then what if it was Farseer again? Well, maybe he says, well, in that case, I definitely don't need mass archers to deal with a single Farseer and Feral Spirits. However, maybe he has a secondary plan that would work in that scenario. For example, he would go Ancient of War all in with mass archers. You know, maybe it's a 2-forked plan that would work against both archetypes that Kiwi has shown so far. So a lot of preparation has gone into this fight night by Starshaped, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah, the homework definitely pays off, guys. So if you're still going to school, remember to do it, just like the Warcraft pro you likes to watch all the time. So here we go. The Orc assault has been thwarted, has been rejected pretty nicely by Starshaped, as we said. Tons of archers in the mix. So what is he doing in the base already? The tier 2 tech almost complete. Orc actually almost on par. Very close, these guys, with the tech. And we don't see any fast expansion tricks coming in from Starship. Although, as I say it, a Wisp, happy little Wisp, is moving over from the main to the expo location.
So
not really fast expo anymore, though.
We see the 4th Moonwell coming out, and we also see another archer pushing in at 36 out of 40 food. So unless Starshaped builds a building that requires a Wisp, like an Ancient or a Tree of Life, he doesn't currently have food supply available to make a second hero. His Tree of Life is finishing in 5%. And so if he wants a second hero immediately, his Moonwell is actually late. Unless he builds a Tree of Life now. I know it's kind of micro stuff, but the build order before you really fight an opponent is pretty easy for pro players. So I'm assuming that everything has a reason. Currently he's at 36 food and he can't make a second hero. He's standing next to it. I'm assuming, actually, it was a mistake. There was no reason.
Starshaped has shown us such good play. You know, tiny mistakes happen every now and then. But Grubby, level 3 Demon Hunter, now reinforced by a Naga Sea Witch. And we only see level 2 on the Alchemist happening just now. He's also going to take some damage of the Mercenary creep. This push hits at the worst time possible for KiWiKaKi. This is going to be so hard to defend with all these archers. Those burrows are going to be in a real dangerous spot.
Fortified defenses are 5% away from finishing. Too late for this little burrow here. And the Alchemist comes home. He's hurt. The grunts are red. The TC is coming out. Also too late. This is a mean attack by Starshaped. Dirty, below the belt. And he's making a Tree of Life on the natural, even as he builds 2 Ancients of Wind at home. So while this hits with the near power of an all-in, he's got 2 other things riding after this. A very good situation here for Starshaped.
Yeah, Kiwi's supply blocked, guys. 36 food out of 30. The Nagasi, which actually interrupted a healing salve there as well. It looks like Starshaped is trying to really seal the deal here with a clean 3-0. The TC is ready as well. Can he turn the tide, though? Tries to go for a stomp, but look at the spread. The Archer micro absolutely impeccable here by Starshaped. Now use the little girls even to body block the TC. The Heroes of the Orc, they're so low. The Grunts are desperately trying to get some damage done, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. So close to dying is the Alchemist now. Shadow Melt, easy peasy. Now, needs to be careful though of the Naga Sea Witch. He's in trouble. And during all of this, Grubby, the expansion is building for the Night Elf. This could almost be lights out.
As the lights turn on from the daylight. But yes, indeed, this certainly looks dire for Kiwi. He does drink the healing potion. He doesn't make the full surround, so using a TP as a final resource would have been cool had he forced the same out of the Demon Hunter.
Demon Hunter, Mana Bird!
Oh, he's pretty much stuck. Like, there's a 1 slot away.
The PO block!
Okay, he finally made the Demon Hunter TP. Very well done there. But let's look at the situation. Let's take stock, Kendric. 2 Wisps waiting at the Tree of Life, at the expansion. We actually have Hippogriffs. It's not... the Madman! He's not going to go Talents in Tier 3. He's going to get Hippo Riders. And they got a massive buff in the last patch. 5 health extra.
That's an argument I cannot refuse, Grubby. We're gonna have to build Hippogriffs now. That's it, right?
Hippo Riders all the time, every time, even if you're against Bat Riders.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Starshaped is trying to keep, his foot on the pedal. He's driving it all the way to the metal. He's trying to go for another wave of attack here with air units. And guess what? We take a look at Kiwi's base. There is no defense coming against air. He does have a Beastry. He could go for perhaps Wind Riders, perhaps Bat Riders, but it's all going to cost. It's all going to take time, and I'm not sure if that's what Kiwi has, really.
Players' forces are under attack.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, Kendrick, because we got a 4 grunt, 5 grunt, double Raider situation going here, and somehow Kiwi,
Raiders.
He's not scouting a whole lot this entire series. He's not really scouting and reacting. Every game, he has a preset strategy, and although that may be partially true for Starshaped, it's definitely much less so to an extent, because he is scouting, he is pressuring, he's expanding, and he's basically doing more things at the same time all the time than Kiwi. This is going to be a complete blindsiding for KiWiKaKi. He dropped down an expansion. He couldn't be more off the mark as he gets attacked by Moss.
No
Hippo
TP.
Riders. Alchemist goes down.
No TP, no health potion. There was nothing to save the Alchemist, and now the air units, they reign supreme, Grubby. The Grunts, they can bash on those archers as much as they want, but they're not going to have long enough access to reach their mean sisters in the air. And now with the TC about to fall there as well, gets away for now with the aura movement speed, but yeah, this is looking dire. Kiwi is calling the GG here right now. Starshaped on a rampage, absolutely steamrolling over the reigning champion of the Fight Night.
Yeah,
that was unexpected.
That's the shortest Fight Night we've ever had, and very probably will ever have. In a 3, unless we ever invite Happy. Well, then we might have a really quick one. Except Undead needs tier 3 to win. So Starshaped just demolishing KiWiKaKi here. He outthinked him, outthought him, outplayed him, and out-RTS'd him. Outwitted. So congratulations to Starshaped. $200 will be his spoils of war. Kiwi will get $100 for his effort, but he loses the bounty he had accrued thus far. And Starshaped will walk away with that like a thief in the night. And Starshaped will be the one that faces the next opponent, which you said is going to be Priest, right?
Yep. Going to be Priest. If, of course, there's no change of plans. You know, sometimes real life gets in the way, but I'm pretty sure that Priest won't say no to the chance of, making a name for himself, grabbing that hot prize money. But yeah, once again, it's going to be a Night Elf human in 14 days from now. Very, very likely, if of course there is a change, or a different challenger that we have to accept because of time issues. We're going to let you guys know. Heroes Hearth, that is your source where you're going to find out all that. Feel free to follow the channel for more Warcraft 3 goodness. If you like the cast of Grubby and myself, feel free to let us know as well. We're always, trying our best to provide the best experience for you. I haven't been casting Warcraft 3 for a long time at all. And although Grubby has been invested in the scene for so long, I think casting is also something you are still enjoying as a new thing, as a new facet in your repertoire.
I love it. I'm very happy to be casting Warcraft 3, and you're improving every time. You were great to begin with. I had never heard you casting Warcraft 3 before, but it's been really fun. So we will have another fight night in 2 weeks from now. In the meantime, we'll probably take a short break, as we'll probably have some kind of follow-up coming up here. So don't go anywhere. It's not just credits. We'll probably have some kind of fun matches coming up to enjoy together. Maybe a little crazier, a little bit less serious, but no less entertaining. Thanks for watching Fight Night with Kendric, Swish, and I, and we'll be back in just a minute.
In a bit. There we go, guys. We're back. So we decided to come up with a special treat for you since the series was rather short. We didn't want it to end after just 45 minutes or so. So now you guys out there, the crucial part of the Heroes Hearth community, got the chance to play with, Grubby, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend, and myself and some of the other people in a 4 versus 4 custom game. So Grubby's going to tell you what you need to do and where you need to go.
Yeah, we're going to play a 4v4. Kendric and I, of course, we're inseparable. We'll be on the same team, but we've got space for 6 souls to join us. If you would like to play live on stream of the Heroes Hearth channel and to join Kendric and me on the side of the Alliance, I don't think we actually have to do it that way. Or the other side, come to open your Warcraft client, or if it already is, log into Battle.net. If you're already there, join channel HHE on US East server, and I'll tell you the game name, and we're going to go play a 4v4 together.
Yeah,
channel
super sick.
HHE.
HHE on the US East server, guys. Market Square is already waiting, and Grubby will tell you the game name. So first come, first serve. You got to activate your speediest of lightning finger reflexes. So...
Yeah, exactly. We have 4 people in the channel already. I'm sending them your way, Kendric. Keep one spot for me on your team is all I ask.
I will. I'll defend it with my teeth. Okay, people are trickling in. I love it. So, yeah, we're going to go... Oh, man, what do I play? I think I'll go random here, actually.
Go random. Okay, I'll do the same.
Yeah. True heroes play random in these games, guys. So let's see who's up for it.
I sent enough people your way already.
Yeah, we've got Nexo311 in here. We've got Dank, Curse Scroll, and Wife Stole My Cat.
Let's join team 1, Kendrick.
Gotcha.
Wife Stole My Cat.
Yeah, best name.
We let's see. Team 2. I think we have space for one more. Let me go back to the channel. Aha. There we go. I think that's it. We're playing on Market Square, which is a pretty cool 4v4 map. One of the most popular maps there is. Bottom guys, team 2. And ready.
Very nice. Oh, we've got Recram in here as well from Warcraft3.info.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to those guys, by the way, and to you, Recram, for featuring the Fight Night on your website. Had a little bit of a short article there, so you guys can check that out as well. Warcraft3.info, I think a very good source for Warcraft 3 in general if you're looking for replays, if you're looking for articles, news, all the good stuff.
Looks like we're almost ready. Wow, Curse Scroll has a ping of 11. What?
I don't even know how that's possible.
He's like literally living in the servers. He's actually a robot. Still need Rekram to join the correct team, and then we're all ready. So if you just tuned in or you kind of tuned us out for a second, which actually is a capital offense, the series ended 3-0 in favor of Starshaped, and he's going to be back in 2 weeks from now to face Priest in our first human versus night elf of this fight night. I think it is, right? Isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, we had an undead to begin with. So the first human as well. That's going to be really cool. That's in 2 weeks from now. But we had a short best of 5 today. So we're going to be playing 1 4v4, maybe 2. I don't know how long this one is going to take. No mercy, okay, Kendrick?
No mercy. We're 100% serious. The time for games is over. Wait, Rekram, he now left?
Oh,
disconnected.
Okay.
So we're gonna give him 1 minute. We're gonna be that generous. But yeah, you said it, guys. You said it, Grubby. The replay will be on the YouTubes. You guys can check out all the games there. And that's the thing about Fight Night, right? You better tune in time, because sometimes you have players showing up strong, flexing their muscle, and ending the series in, how long was it? 25 minutes?
It was short. The last game was less than 10 minutes. The first maybe like 10, 15. Yeah. I had about 35 minutes of play. Don't know if Rekram is going to be back. I think
he's there, yeah.
Great. Then I'll rejoin as well.
Nice.
Okay, ready. Wait, he's in the wrong
we
team.
have wait a minute. We have one person not being in team 2. Okay, someone tried to sneak in. Everybody wants to play with Grubby.
Did Nexo just switch team?
Yeah, maybe he wanted to do it sneaky before the countdown. There we go. He's back on team 2. Let's go.
All right, gonna play random. The point of view, of course,
same.
will be on Kagakiri, our great observer, and good luck following the action of all 8 players, Kaga.
This is the ultimate test right now. The ultimate observer challenge.
It's not easy to keep up with the action, but if you just keep following Kendric, everything is gonna be okay.
Yeah, watch for that. If you want the high-level gameplay, you better follow me, Kage. I agree.
There we go. Team 1, wife stole my cat. I randomed undead. What did you get?
Don't ask. The one race I didn't want, but it's gonna be okay.
Don't
the
ask,
lame night elves.
don't tell. Ah, night elf. All right, just mass chimeras.
Yeah. I once saw that maybe Potem is not too bad on 4 versus 4, right?
Yeah, you can go Potem first and get some Starfall, some True Shot. You've got 2 undead allies and another night elf. So actually, True Shot I think will be very nice. And probably Curse Scroll. Curse might be going for Keeper of the Grove. So then we've got all kinds of cool ultimate possibilities. Oh, he's going Demon. Well, you can go Potem. We don't need Keeper.
Okay. The good old Potem. Is she the worst hero in a normal competitive environment, would you say?
Yeah, I think either maybe even Dreadlord. We see Dreadlord third sometimes, and we barely see Potem first. So most likely Potem is definitely up there with one of the worst. Firelord is probably worse, but if we're talking specifically altar heroes, I think she's bottom 3 for sure.
Oh, poor Potem.
I'm gonna share control with you, with everyone.
Okay.
Don't unsummon my buildings until I say so.
Gonna do the same thing.
All right, we have an undead next to us by the name of Dank. Name checks out. And then an orc, Grimmith, in the top left, in the pink.
Yep. So let's see. We're coming through. Undead as well. Oh, Undead's gonna be so tricky because they can't nuke each other if they go DK.
Yes. Yeah, and I could go DK, but Wife Stole My Cat is already going for Death Knight. And what is life if not a series of probably risky adventures? So I'm gonna be going for Criplord first. Get some of that Locust Swarm action, hopefully.
Oh my god, yes. By the way, did you ever complete the Volcano Challenge?
What was the Volcano Challenge?
Well, basically just get a level 6 Fire Lord.
I remember casting. I remember throwing a few rocks about, yes.
Nice.
It was not strong, unsurprisingly.
I honestly gotta admit, I know it slows, but does it deal damage too?
It doesn't even slow.
Oh no.
It's
So
only
it only
damage.
damages?
Yep. It stuns. It stuns. It's amazing. It can stun and damage. Yeah, it's actually better than Gul'dan's Reign of Destruction in our favorite MOBA.
Did you know they changed it? The Reign of Destruction?
Yeah, I played Gul'dan last night.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. Like 1.5 second channel, and it costs for like 7 seconds, and you can actually move. Yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
Okay, so we have a ghoul harass here. Maybe you can go and help as soon as you're done. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll come over.
Pretty far out of the way, but it looks like he might need the help.
Maybe on my way. Got supply stuck super hard.
Hey, it looks fine already. You can do as you like, I suppose. Ping if need help.
Players' forces are under attack.
So of course, the observers, the viewers of our stream can see what's going on with everyone, but we can't. So all that we
That's
know is
true.
that there's one Death Knight with Ghoul Harass. Who knows who else is expanding or running into Paladins with Riflemen in the top right
Oh,
of the
I
map.
see it. I see it.
Thanks for the level up, guys.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Maybe I can get some pieces of the pie.
A player's forces
Oh.
are under attack.
He goes for the defensive Holy Light. And I walk my Cryptian into creeps. It's also nice. At least he didn't get experience. We have a call by one of our co-players that we should
like
creep
it.
the middle.
Yeah, I like the shot calling, the confidence. I like it.
Let's go to the middle of the map. There's a mana fountain on the right, and there's a healing fountain on the left. And it can just become this crazy big fight, which I assume is why Market Square is actually so popular. We can see we're all going there. Curse Scroll is defending his base with Ancient Protectors to stop Death Knight harass. And we move in. I only hope that no one is watching the stream and joins us in the middle
Please
here.
no Snipperino.
Please no Sniperino.
Oh my god, it's such an armada of creeps here.
Let's not have a big fight in middle, guys. We're ready for you.
Oh my god, with the Frost Armor, we can't even damage the wizard. It's so tanky.
Yeah. He's got the healing fountain effect as well.
Yeah. Chaos damage, sweet.
It's a little bit of polymorph. I'm gonna steal the item. Mind if I roll me?
It was a Scroll of the Beast? Could be good though, honestly, now for 4v4.
Yeah, that could be pretty decent, I think. Oh, look, big army. I'm gonna get in position. I think they're over here. I would love to get a level up.
Same.
before we fight.
Forces are under
Always
attack.
want those.
Ah, let's go, let's go!
Creep check!
Found him! It's a firefight!
Okay.
One, TP'd out. Nice coil. Oops. Alright, let's creep this and then maybe we can take an expansion. And then this and then this.
Okay. Ah. That's what you want to read.
A player's forces are
Someone
under
offering
attack.
lumber. What a bro.
I'll give it on to you. He gave it to me and I'm the middle man. I pass it on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Town is under siege.
Okay, let's push into the human base.
Poor human. Just
Or
kidding.
Marcher. I thought
No
you
one
would
feels
be
sorry
like
for
human main with your kind of sick love to the Alliance.
You know,
Player's forces are under
the first when I first started playing Warcraft 3, you know, I was like 12 years old or 13 years old. I immediately went for the humans because I had the exact same thought as you, Grubby. But then I noticed it just doesn't feel good. There's too many workers I need to micro. And then I discovered Undead, you know, with only 5 acolytes and ghouls being kind of cool. So I never got away with them.
Sure, okay. Well, big fight happening here. Let's get started with an impale and fight them 1v3 as everyone else is more focused on the town hall.
Oh, the paladin.
There you go.
Pretty
Focus
hurt. Here they
PC,
come.
baby. Who are we attacking? Paladin?
I was just built 2 Chimera Roosts. Paladin did. DD.
forces are under attack.
Did die?
I think that's what they should teach children at school. That's the right way of using the time forms on this word.
How are we doing? I think we have to
I think we're looking good.
pull back.
Okay.
Let's go back. Let's run.
Damage has been dealt.
So I guess I'll be leaving. I'll give you some lumber. You look like you could use some.
Thank you.
Whoa. I'm out. Peace.
Ah, there's a mana fountain. I forgot about that. Just go there.
Let's go. Uh-oh, they know about my expo.
Oh, here
Let's
they
go
come.
to the fountain. Don't
Town
defend.
under
Don't
siege. A
defend.
player's forces are under attack.
Run.
Running. Oh god, they might have actually caught me. Undead Aura, TC Aura, 2 OP.
Let's keep running. Keep
Yep.
running.
Okay, the big boys are coming in, the big girls, the chimeras. They're in protection.
A town is under siege.
Should I go corrosive press immediately, or not really need it?
Don't need it. Mostly just focus on the fight, I suppose.
Gotcha.
We should do a bit of creeping on the big camps.
Coming.
We should have had an expansion a while ago. Like several. I don't know if they have any.
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh god, the siege golem. The stuff that nightmares are made of.
Not a lot of trees for keeper on this map. Oh yeah, wow,
True.
big golem. Try to get a bit of scouting in. Let's get the knight too. Looks like they're scouting for expansions. I don't know if they
Player's
have
forces
any.
are under attack.
Oh, you have the new necros.
Yep, gonna master me some necros. At least for now. Ah, they have an expansion. We need more expos. Guys, feel free to creep gold mines. Everyone is really waiting
A
for
player's
the
forces are under
shot
attack.
goals, but it's not necessary. Oh my god, claws plus. You want it? Here, take it.
I'll take it, yeah.
15.
Thank you. Let's see. Should probably creep some gold mines here.
A player's forces are under
Okay, we're
attack.
very late with the gold mine creeps. I'm sure they have like 3 expos already.
Oh, they're scouting it now.
A player's forces are under attack.
It's a big rifle Cryptfiend army.
Oh, that's always the calm before the storm in a 4 versus 4.
Okay. They have 1 base. I don't know how many more.
Oh, the map is so huge too.
They have
I'm
2
gonna try to harass with the
Player's
chims now.
forces are under attack.
Okay.
Town is under
Try to
siege.
snipe the base, but don't get TP'd and whipped on.
Yep.
I pulled them to the left.
Coming.
There's 2 on the left now. No, don't fight, don't fight. You need to run.
Oh god, there's flying machines.
Oh god.
They knew.
I'll try to help defend.
Good.
Why is he not TPing us? Curse Scroll has Hippo Riders, but you need to be very mobile with that.
Yeah, armies are getting big in a 4 versus 4, guys. Oh, I like the TP trade.
We need way more expos. Like everyone needs to expo. I'm just trying to buy time because
Yeah.
someone on our team said we should group up, but their army's so much better, so it's better not to group up.
Okay, they got some flying machines there.
A player's forces are under siege.
I need more shops. I can't buy TPs anymore. Yeah, go kill bases. It's the only way we can win.
Yeah, we're doing it right now. Okay, we got one undead base down.
Nice. Keep killing bases. I'm probably dead, and I will TP out with everything I have. Oh, someone's coming. Okay. You can help too if you can make it here.
Yep. Coming. Don't really have much.
Oh shit, I just frenzied their stuff. Looks troubling.
Well, I'm in the orc base, killing everything.
Okay. You have no TP?
The chimps weren't with me. They were on the other side.
Okay. Because we will probably win the fight with some games. But not anymore. Now I should just kill them and eliminate.
Yeah.
No, our ally. Oh, Kendric, lol. I think that's it. I've got nothing. You're all saving up on 50 food. They took a lot of bases. They had a nice army. Good auras. Those damn flyings.
Oh no, they also caught me.
I can't watch. Look at something else, KiWiKaKi.
Too strong. Let's see. How many expansions do they still have? Because they lost an undead, we lost an undead.
Well, they have guaranteed 2 bases, so they're still mining on 4 minimum, and we're mining more than that. No, we have no answer for the flying machines right now. The
That's true.
wife stole my cat can make Cryptians, but it doesn't deal with them quickly enough. So we would have needed a massive force of hippogriffs to take them out before. Certainly not easy. Maybe if I had some Gargs, but those are really bad in team play.
Yeah.
Looks like he has no bombs. Mountain Giants could have been a cool idea.
All the flying machines.
Who was Grubby? Yeah, I was the guy with the necromancers that got taken out in the top right. I had to sell the Mask of Death, Mina, because I needed the TP.
Okay, so we gotta make a... they still have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What do we have in terms of armies? I don't see any. Oh yeah, we don't have anything.
No, we got 3 Mountain Giants.
Oh boy. I think we go for the last array. See if we can maybe do something, but looking grim. Alright guys, now or never. I love the entangle. The Mountain Giants though, pretty respectable number.
There we go, some destroyers, some MGs. Oh, MGs actually take a lot of damage from worms when you have 10. The brave curse scroll coming from the left.
No.
He just needs 1 creep, 1 minion to die, 1 unit to die to get tranquility, and he will save the fight with tranquility, but he's on the run, he can't get the experience. GG, says wife stole my cat.
GG my dudes, that was great.
Nice game by everyone. Well played. The team of Nexo, Dank, Grimmith, and Marcher. They showed a greater mastery of 4-on-4. They took the expansions, masked the worms, and a very wonderful bloodlust to top it all off. GG.
GG's. And that was it for us, guys. I hope you had a lot of fun watching the Heroes Hearth Fight Night Warcraft 3 in the 4th round, in the 4th edition. We'll be back in 14 days from now, so you definitely want to follow the channel. You want to follow Grubby and myself, perhaps on Twitter. If you haven't done so already, you can find us there. And yeah, I think we had a great time. It was great to see a strong challenger with Starshaped just basically coming out swinging. And yeah, Grubby, I think the final words belong to you as per usual.
A short and ruthless match between Starshaped and KiWiKaKi. Such is the nature of esports from time to time. Will Priest be a better match for Starshaped in 2 weeks from now? Tune in again to the next fight night with all the action in the next best of 5 to see if Starshaped can keep his bounty or will Priest walk away with it. Our first human in fight night. Kendric, I had a great time. Thanks for casting with me together here. And here we go, guys. Have a great night and see you next time.